Hello, welcome back to Mountain Gym Card Collectibles. Hope you had a great weekend. You found everything you wanted for your card collection. Anyway, I noticed something about the hobby this weekend when I was watching, sports card shows on YouTube. And there's a lot of hypocrisy when it comes to sports card corporations versus sports card scammers. And just kind of scummy sports card people in general. Now, I've noticed other channels, they are not afraid to call out, a member of the community, the sports card community, collecting community, whatever, who attempts to scam, take advantage. You got Rattle Pokemon all day, going over whatnot scams, calling people out. You have other, kind of celebrity, kind of YouTube sports card gurus who will not hold back a second to call out an individual who's taking advantage of the sports card situation, taking advantage of customers, selling them bad products, swapping patches, whatever. And there's no holding back there, whether it was backyard breaks, issues, and that's great. I like that. But what I see is a hesitancy to call out corporations. Corporations like Topps or Panini or whoever else, And I wish that the community wasn't like that, especially when it comes to what's going on with all the red flags in relation to autographed cards recently. And I'm sure you're no stranger, of Topps remaking more Lionel Messi autograph cards following its own investigation into these, Topps Dynasty cards that are believed to be fake. Now, to me, this fake auto looks better than the fake autos from the 2017 to 2018 that his brother signed. But you have to ask yourself, what is going on with Lionel Messi autos? Is he signing any of this stuff, even the stuff that we believe are his, that they have flagged as those are his autos? You begin to question all of it, What's he doing? Does he care about the fans at all? Does he care about his business agreements? I honestly don't think he does. And if he doesn't care about his business agreements with these card companies, then he should just stop, sign the agreement and stop, being part of this whole scheme or scam or whatever you want to call it. But then, we run into other issues as well. We begin to look at other industries that are similar to sports cards. Meaning, when I think of an industry that's similar to the brand new sports card industry, you have to look for industries that have low standards and expensive costs. Identifying industries universally known for both low standards and consistently expensive costs can be subjective and vary depending on individual experiences and specific companies within those industries. However, several industries have faced significant consumer complaints and scrutiny regarding these aspects. And they nail it, Cable providers, frequently cited for high prices, unreliable service, and poor customer support. Cable providers often receive low customer satisfaction ratings, yes. And that's a reason why people have moved into streaming, Why bother with a cable box when you get a Roku, for your online streaming? It's just so much better, Internet service providers, similar to cable, ISPs are often criticized for high costs, inconsistent service quality, and inadequate customer service leading to widespread dissatisfaction. And I agree. I sit and battle my local internet companies. I have a monopoly right now, but I have another company moving in here around October, and I'm thankful for that. But I have been getting scammed up and down by my local ISP. Wireless phone service providers. Customers often complain about high prices for data and service plans, limited coverage, and difficulties with customer support, resulting in negative experience. I have to agree with that as well. Healthcare. While healthcare is essential, the industry often faces criticism regarding rising costs, limited access to affordable care, and variations in service quality. I couldn't agree more. Airline industry. Frequent complaints about high ticket prices, baggage fees, delays, and poor customer service during disruptions contribute to the negative perception of this industry. And they go over some other things: auto sales, leases and repairs, home improvement and construction, utilities, fast-moving consumer goods. Now, what's it say about fast-moving consumer goods? FMCG. Intense competition and high capital requirements can characterize some segments of this industry. Okay. So these guys are known for being kind of scam artists, greedy, selfish, hypocritic. People are trying to get away from these industries. I mean, I'm guilty. I've been trying to get away from my local ISP. I dumped cable years ago. I know all the scams with wireless phone service providers to where, that's why I choose to, use other phones, like phones where you get the cards at Walmart or whatever, track phones, for instance, over plans. And so I have really tried to get away from this. Now, utilities, water, they just raised prices on my water bill. I had no choice in that. That's a monopoly, But I feel like sports cards kind of take advantage of the consumer or the customer in the same manner as these companies do. And I wish it wasn't like that. And what gets me is why aren't these other YouTube people calling out the corporations, the companies, as much as, say, a fellow, card enthusiast that's a scam artist? You know what I mean? So then we hit blowout cards. I like to hit blowout cards and, read the forums and see what people are writing about, And so when I went over the blowout cards things, the Frank Gore Jr. thing is definitely a big issue, with him coming out saying what he has. Just kind of scroll down here. And this is just a conversation. I'll just vaguely read about the Frank Gore stuff. I'm not reading too deep into anything, and I am not suggesting Topps is out here forging signatures of undrafted practice squad guys. No clue why you would even think that. This thread was simply, there are Frank Gore Jr. autos being pushed by card companies. Frank Gore Jr. even confirmed they were fake. That is the story, not some big conspiracy theory with fanatics forging player signatures, but rather yet another story of fake signatures on cards, but this time confirmed by the player. If his cousin signed them, his agent, or even his mom, that doesn't change my post. But no one suggested the card companies were doing this. That is outlandish. And that's just it. Are the card companies doing this? Or did Frank Gore Jr. just hire somebody to take care of this for him? Here's another reply. I think agents and family members sign way more stickers or cards on the player's behalf than most people think. I remember watching a segment on, I think it was NFL Network, with Eric Davis and somebody else. The memorabilia card topic got brought up. Both Eric and the other players said those sheets of stickers aren't a super big deal. You get your team/agent to handle it. I don't remember the specifics, but they did seem very nonchalant about, like this was a normal thing among players. And we know, with the Lionel Messi stuff, family members sign this stuff. It's like everyone but the player is signing this stuff anymore, And so I'll scroll down here to look at some of these Frank Gore things. Now, this is a Frank Gore Jr. auto that came from Panini. All of these autos look different. I believe that this is the one that he says is the true Frank Gore Jr. auto, because Frank Gore Jr. called this out himself. And then we have this one. This is the one that he's saying is completely fake. So I'm guessing that maybe his agent signed it. Maybe someone, tied with the agent signed it. But he's clearly said these are fake. So what should is Topps doing anything about this? You know what I mean? I mean, if Frank Gore Jr. saying these are fake, you should be able to mail these back to Topps and get some money back or get a different card, something. All right? Hopefully you'll get something that's real. I mean, look how different this one is, you know. FGJ, that's the Sage. But then we run into this. And this came out of the top signatures. I mean, what gets me about the Frank Gore is it's like, how many people are signing for Frank Gore? Is there like a whole business of people signing for Frank Gore? It's my turn to sign for Frank Gore. No, it's my turn, because this is completely different again. And the thing about this industry is, if it doesn't clean itself up, eventually it's going to topple over, you know, because eventually people are just going to turn away from it and go, the whole thing is BS, you know, from start at the corporations with the fake autos or whatever, to the players calling them out the fake autos, to people believing that they have it and trying to sell this junk, you know, on eBay or wherever for thousands of dollars. It's just such a joke. And so we do have some good things rolling into the industry. And I already did a video on this already. And this is really where we're going to have to go, you know. Is an industry that has cleaned itself up that we can trust. And they have to start doing things differently. And Upper Deck is attempting to do that. Like it says here. I recommend watching my previous video about this as well. Upper Deck is introducing a new system for rookie auto patch cards in their 2023 to 2024 The Cup Hockey set. This system aims to combat patch swapping by providing a way for collectors to verify the authenticity of their cards. Each card will be slabbed, photographed, and given a serial number and QR code that links to an online gallery of images showcasing the card's original condition. And you know, they slab a photo of the cards. They have a serial number and QR code. They have an online gallery. It's almost like you don't even need PSA, you know, if the companies do this, you know, authentication, addressing patch swapping. So that is a great way, you know, to deal with patch swapping. Now, we have to start to create something that goes along with players' autos, players' autographs. I know that you can always go to a notary public and they will do the proper procedures to make sure that the correct person is signing an autograph to get it notarized. And I went over that with my previous video. You know, we really need to start cleaning up the industry, and you need to start getting all of your autographs notarized. And that's what the companies need to start doing for consumers. If you want to have, you know, an industry that isn't a joke. And I know that this industry would prefer to play their games because it's much more profitable for them. And I know a lot of, you know, fellow YouTubers. I'm not monetized yet, by the way. But a lot of these monetized guys, you know, they just act like this is no big thing, you know. But like I said, it's very hypocritical to call out everyone else scamming in the industry, but not the corporations themselves, and trying to, you know, paint a pretty picture of the situation where, you know, they're saying that, you know, 90% of the cards are safe. But where are they getting 90%? That's just it. And there's so many just pie-eyed believers, you know, in sports cards that they're going to believe everything they get, you know. And I believe a lot of people don't even care about the autographs, to be honest. They don't care if it's a fake auto. They just want the fake auto so they can turn around, hype it up, and make a lot of money off of it on eBay or whatnot or wherever they're selling it, you know. And so that doesn't help the, you know, the sports card industry as well. What I would like to have is to be able to get an autograph, you know, have something to where I can verify it's the actual autograph. I wasn't, you know, tricked by anybody, the corporation or whatever, and feel like, you know, that, hey, I have something that's valuable. Because lately, I don't know, it just seems like if I get an auto, I just feel like it's there's a great likelihood that the player didn't sign it. That someone in his little circle of family, agents, whatever, signed it because he's just too busy living his life. And it really makes the autograph sports card industry feel like it's a lampoon. It's a joke. The consumer, the end consumer is really, you know, if you ever watched Candid Camera, he's the guy that got tricked. You know what I mean? If you ever watched the old Candid Camera, we're all watching these people, you know, getting tricked and they believe it's real. I just wish it wasn't like that, you know. Anyway, how do you feel about this? Leave some comments. I'd like to thank my subscribers, my subscriber base. You're the reason I keep doing these shows every day. And thank you to my viewers. If you haven't subscribed as a viewer, it's 100% free. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. I'm out of here. Bye.